Y'all know this tracking never works because I move too much and I'm in too many different situations for it to work. I'm also going to plug this mic in and hope that it does something. Okay, hopefully it's not just quiet now. Sometimes when you add the mic in the middle, it doesn't pick up the sound. But I guess if it doesn't, I'll just be out of luck. I have to do it again. I kind of plan on doing another post tomorrow morning. I wanted to take you guys to my uh, preferred breakfast spot in town. The one I ate at every morning while we were on the serious lockdown last year when I first got here. I wanted to take you for that because I like it. It's good, tasty. I want to do that tomorrow morning. I might post again soon. Mm. You know, I guess the biggest news that I should start off with is not turning off the air conditioner, but something close to that. My dad really came through for me. He sent me some money, so you guys know I have not been working for. I'm doing the trash. That's why I'm down on the ground. I've not been working for over 2 months now. Is it over 2 months? Yeah, May and June. So for over 2 months, I've not been working. So I was really out of money and getting kind of desperate and nervous. And he sent me some cash. It was really, really good of him. He's helped out a couple of times during this pandemic. It's been really, really an amazing thing to have him helping out. It was really, really great. But boy, I don't want to ask him for more than I absolutely have to, because I kind of feel like he's more apt to help if I don't ask all the time. Seems rational. So I'm trying not to, but boy, I was down to nothing this time, and he sent me enough to live on, and enough. He said he was going to send more to pay next month's rent, and that'll be great. So then the other good news that goes along with that is just a few minutes ago, got a message from the lady at Terry's school that I've been working with for so long. And she's got some friends, not at the school. Like I don't think the school is allowed to be open, but parents are kids have missed the same amount I have, at least 2 months, and parents are getting kind of antsy. I think for them to go back to school or to get something, to be doing something. And this soup that I ordered spilled. Gross. Anyway, so somebody's got something going on in their home. It's just a tutoring of about 2 or 3 kids. So, well, I say tutoring, but it is 2 or 3 kids, so it's a little small class. Uh, I need my mask. I always forget it and have to come back in here for it. Yeah, so I got that going on. So hopefully that's going to work out. I mean, I'm just talking to her right now about it. They're looking for somebody to teach. And it's already locked onto something in the background. But that's why I lose it, because I'm doing other things. That's why the tracking, now it's going to look at the bag. It's tracking the bag. See that trash bag? Yeah, so then I'm just going to let it look at the trash bag until I get out to the elevator, because I've got all the things I got to do. So yeah, that's good news. I mean, this is just one class. I imagine they'll want to do once a week. I'm just trying to get the details from her now, how often they want to meet and all that stuff. But it is a full pay job. I mean, not full time, of course, but like the last thing that she offered me, I think I told you guys this, was an online thing, and they wanted to pay less than half. Let's see, what was the yeah, so they were wanting to pay less than $10 an hour, and I usually make over 20. And I was like, yeah, I mean, an hour of my time. And I told her, I said, if he just wants to chat, maybe, $10 an hour is good enough. But if they want a class with like, prep put into it and lesson plans and all that stuff, and then it's going to be the same cost because it's the same amount of time for me. The only thing I kind of save is, I guess, the time that you would spend getting to the school, like physically getting to the school. But as long as I've got the bike and it's running and it's been doing pretty good. I mean, it's messed up so many times I'm kind of not entirely trustworthy of it. But as long as it's doing pretty good, it only takes me 10 minutes to get over to the school. Takes maybe half an hour to get to the class that's farthest out. And that's really far out. I mean, I can't imagine there's anything in town that's going to be farther than half an hour. I'm just going for a walk because I don't get to walk during the daytime. It's too hot now. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, it's just not, just to think that just because it's an online class that I'm going to get paid half salary. No, no, not at all. Like, if there's a discount, it's going to be like 10% discount. Maybe I give them for an online class. But if the concern is that online classes are not as good, yeah, they're not. That's why I don't like doing them. But I'm going to take less money for it. If you want an online class, you're going to pay for it. And if you don't want to pay for it, then okay, that's a big pile of junk right there. Okie dokie then. Yeah, if you don't want to pay for it, then we won't do it. So anyway, yeah, that was that. But I'm glad I held out, stuck to my guns, so to speak, I guess, because and she came up with this one. She says it's a full class, and sounds good to me. It's 2 or 3 kids. To be honest, it should be easier to do a class with 2 or 3 kids in it than 6 or 10. But the truth is, the activities are easier to do if you've got enough kids. If you only have 2 or 3 kids, there's not a lot you can do. You can't really play games. You can't make teams of 3 with 3 kids. But yeah, that's fine. We'll figure it out. Work it out some way. I'm gonna put a lot more effort into this class than I have been before. Well, I'm hoping. I'm just hearing about it now, so I'm kind of imagining what it's going to be, and I haven't gotten all the answers yet. But I'm hoping it's the sort of thing where they are just going to let me be in control of it, because most of the problem, to me, stems from the fact that you start these classes and there's a Vietnamese woman that's in charge of the class. It's her class, and you're just there to teach a lesson. Sometimes you're going in to teach one class out of the week, and then she'll teach the other one, and that helps her keep, lets her offer to parents a class that has a native speaking teacher, which it makes the class attractive, but lets her keep costs down so she doesn't have to pay a foreign teacher to teach every single class. I get that. I completely understand. But then what you end up with is a class you're not really in charge of, and she doesn't really feed you any information about what she's wanting you to teach. Like, there's no collaboration going on. She's just like, here, teach this today. And I'm like, oh, all right. Whatever you think, I guess. But that works out fine, except that you really don't know you're not really in charge of the class, and so you're just trying to wing it every class on whatever she hands you when you walk in the door. So I think it'll be easier, maybe even more fun if I get to plan the class myself and do it myself. And I found some online material. If I can, get the stuff printed out. I mean, to be fair, I'll pay for this stuff to be printed out, as long as I can figure out where to do it. But I thought about that before, that I get so many offers, and then they're not really impressed if you don't have everything ready to go. But I'm like, I don't really have a business here. You asked me if I could teach a class, and I said yeah, and I would love to make it into a business, and have all those materials and be able to offer something. But it does take a little money to start with. But I guess now's as good a time as any to start with that. Most of the material is just flashcards and things like that. So as long as I can find a laminating machine and printer, or even a company that'll do it, then I'm good. I can be a little tutoring business, maybe have something more to offer. One thing, and I'm taking a lot of this from China because obviously I spent more time there. So I don't want to say that that's definitely the way it is here, but I have already run into it some, so I feel like it's probably a similar thing. There's a tendency, I guess it's a cultural tendency to understate what's expected, like to make it seem better, make the job seem better, or the class, whatever they're trying to get you to do. And then you get there, and so they'll say things like, "Oh, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to prepare a class. You don't need to do any lesson plans." And I'm always like, "Don't need to do lesson plans? Are you sure about that?" No, we've got all the material. You can just show up. That's all you need to do. And so you just show up, and they're like, "Well, where's the lesson plan?" Because it's a different person, of course. The person that hired you and the person who's in charge of the class you're coming to teach for the day, those are two different people. They don't collaborate. So that's common. That's a common thing. But I mean, I'm a Westerner, so you can't pull that shit with me. If you tell me not to do a lesson plan, I won't do one. And I will not feel bad in the least when I show up without one. When they ask if it's like, nope, I was told not to do one. I do say that. Anyway, let's see. That's about it. So, fingers crossed that this will start a new job, and still fingers crossed for those other two just to get started again too. You know what? Something I didn't do. I wonder if I should. No, I got to get in bed. I was gonna go get like a soda or something in a little store. I got a new store I use now since Circle K closed. I probably should have been using it the whole time. They're not really all that much cheaper. It's a little bit cheaper. But it's right across, and it's a locally owned store, so that's good. Probably why they're still opening. Circle K when they didn't go out of business. There's a Circle K around the corner. They just closed that store. They might have figured out they don't need 10 Circle Ks on every block. All right, guys, I'm about back to the house. That was my quick walk around the island, just so I could feel like I had some physical activity today, although I don't know if that counts. It was so short. Yeah, so that's what's going on. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Hopefully everything starts getting back to normal here. One more. The pandemic it's really going. I had the highest, the last 2 days have been the two highest total days since I started. Although that doesn't have anything to do with opening up here, because it's mostly based in two places: Ho Chi Minh City, which, if you don't know, is the complete opposite side of the country, and a suburb here. But it's not, doesn't seem to be affecting the city. The infections are going crazy out there, but not inside the city. So keep us crossed fingers. Hopefully it'll not get any worse here, and we can continue forward with life. All right, see you guys next week, or maybe tomorrow morning if I actually wake up. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try and wake up and go have breakfast and make a short post on that.